Hi, I'm Carolyn Evans-Hammond and welcome to The Wine Find. This is where we explore exciting destinations, one glass at a time. This time, I'm in Venice, a modern medieval culture bomb filled with food, wine, and history. It's a feast for the senses. So join me on this fascinating journey here on The Wine Find. The Veneto covers a diverse and captivating landscape in northeastern Italy, from the Dolomite Mountains to the Adriatic Sea. The hills and the vines of the Prosecco region, the landscapes of Val d'Adige, which borders Switzerland and Austria, and the haunting, Gothic structures of its capital, Venice. This region is stunning. The Veneto is a feast for all the senses, complete with medieval castles, art from every era, and naturally, wine. A range of terroir gives rise to crisp whites, beautiful reds, and of course the bubblies of the region. And if I had the time, I'd taste them all, but I don't. But I will be tasting and sharing some delicious bottles. In a place as old as Italy, tradition runs deep. Tradition infuses its culture, architecture, and of course winemaking. And one winery, Santa Margherita, stands out because it uses innovation to bridge the past with the future. So, what inspired your grandfather to found Santa Margherita?
First of all, the love for my grandmother. Grandmother's name was Margherita, and she gave him 8 beautiful children, and he was really in love with her, and he wanted to do something special for her.
No matter which culture, no matter which era, your biggest love will always be family. So out of all this business, my great-grandfather decided to give to his passion project, his wine business, the name of his wife, Margherita. Gave him 8 kids, but unfortunately she died very young. So it was a way to make her memory everlasting.
He was in the textile business, and he wanted, after a terrible war, the First World War, 1518, he wanted to make something special for the people. He loved the people. He was a wine lover. He adored the wine. He was very curious. He went around the world to see what was the best wine. He enjoyed the good wines, the genuine wine.
So we're following a very simple vision that my great-grandfather taught us, that is to never do compromise on quality and try to be the best ambassador of Italian excellence around the world.
Now, your great-grandfather started Santa Margherita years ago, and now it's grown into something. If he was right here, what would he say?
I think he would be definitely proud of us because he would see his passion project going forward and blossoming. But we have just started. Obviously, being the 4th generation, myself and my cousin, we feel a huge responsibility. My great-grandfather, and after that, my father and his brother, kept investing in the company, kept putting their passion, their love.
The story of Pinot Grigio is long and fascinating. It started in France as Pinot Grigio and spread throughout Europe, eventually making its way to Italy where it was called Pinot Grigio. But in 1960, something remarkable happened, something truly revolutionary. Giacomo, your great-grandfather created a brand new style of Pinot Grigio as we know it today.
So the key of the vision of my great-grandfather, which I found very modern, especially if we think that it was 60 years ago, is to have the end consumer at the center of his strategy.
And so he asked his people, his enology, said, please, can we have this wine without being gray, without being turbid, without, and they said, yes, we can try of doing it, taking away the skin.
So before that, they had
Nobody.
skin contact.
Yes.
So it was a different color?
It's a different color. It's completely gray. And said, this is white, and the market doesn't want it gray. It wants it white.
So how do you make white wine from gray grapes? You press the juice and you take away the skin.
So he felt that the consumer needed a different wine, a more modern wine. So what he did, he actually filled this need. So he created a new, uncontested but uncharted marketplace that we of course benefit, creating Pinot Grigio as we know it today, so vinified as a white wine, but also all the rest of the industry benefited. So just to give you an idea, now Pinot Grigio, it's the second largest white wine category worldwide after Chardonnay.
This puts you in Italy. The scent is arresting, bracing, but understated. It just engages every one of your senses. The textural component's fantastic. I could get technical and talk about balance and finesse, but I won't. All we care about is mouthfeel. And the mouthfeel is silky, smooth, and then tapers to a fine sifting of limestone and salt that leaves your palate beautifully seasoned. This is a wine that will elevate any moment at all without upstaging it. This is a city that made Prosecco a lifestyle, and it remains one of the best places to enjoy a glass while soaking in the Renaissance meets modern vibe. Mattia,
Yes.
I had a Bellini in Venice, and it was amazing.
Amazing.
Can you beat it?
Perbacco?
Amazing.
Obviously. Yes. For beat it, I need Santa Margherita Prosecco
Perfect.
and fresh pureed peach. Yes, with a fresh peach.
Like this?
Like this. Yes.
This?
Taste it, sure. It's good.
So sweet.
So sweet. Okay, try this.
Beautiful.
Brava, nice move. You are a talent for a bar lady. Yes. You have a future, I think.
So about half and half?
Yes, half Prosecco and half pureed peach.
The moment of truth.
Thank you.
Not too sweet, hint of sour, refreshing, understated Prosecco. Love it. You did it.
Thank you.
I have to sing this to get it right. Valdebiodene. Got it wrong again. Valdebiodene. 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 Valdebiodene is the Prosecco region of Italy. And that's where we are right now. You look around those vines on the steep vineyards, that produces some of the best Prosecco in the world. Now, Prosecco is wildly popular right now, but it's not all created equally. You are doing some things here that make it a little bit of a step above. Can you comment on that?
Of course. We are now in Prosecco area, but in a very special area of Prosecco, which is Conegliano Valdobbiadene. This is the DOCG, from where Prosecco is born. Last year, it was even nominated UNESCO World Heritage. But what's special about this area? Why it's considered the most exclusive, the most prestigious area where you can do Prosecco? Because of this fantastic soil that it's unique to this area, because of the climatology and the conditions that you can only find here, of the steep slopes where only people can harvest by hand. So that's make this area, the Conegliano Valdobbiadene, and that's make the Prosecco Santa Margherita very unique, very, very special. Just to give you an idea, last year they were produced more than 600 million bottles of Prosecco, but only 80 million of these are produced in this area.
And so consumers know that their Prosecco came from this region with the letters DOCG on it, because that's the center, correct?
Exactly. DOCG, it means that the denomination is not only controlled, but is also guaranteed, which is one step above the DOC, which makes only controlled.
And that's a difference you can taste.
It's all surrounding around me. Breathe in the silent air.
We are in Lamole, in Chianti Classico, the region that is the historical center of Chianti. They've been making wine here since the 14th century.
It's all surrounding around me.
And right now, the fruit is heavy on the vine.
In front of me, we go where the rivers wind, turning to perfect seas.
Here in Lamole, the high altitude, special soil, and climate all contribute to perfect growing conditions for Sangiovese, the grape variety that is Chianti Classico. In Italy, wine is never made just to drink wine. It's always made with the thought of consuming it with food, with meals, with company. It's a convivial drink that's consumed with all sorts of things. This here is an olive grove. Everybody grows tomatoes. They make their food, they fix their food, they consume their food with wine.
take away some of the shells.
Is there ever such thing as a double
This is
mussel?
no.
Siamese twin mussels. That was great. Hope you got
Yeah.
that shot. It's so good. Good wine, fresh food, and a great chef. Now there's a trifecta of delight.
And it's important to cook with the wine that you're going to be drinking with, okay? And I love that idea because the flavors are all there. The flavors are going to be infused in the food that you're eating. So the wine that you're drinking is the wine that you used to cook with.
Massimo, that's amazing with this wine. Neither overpowers the other.
No.
It's perfect, but there's enough flavor to stand up to the
100%.
fantastic.
Pinot Grigio seems to be, to me, is a perfect combination to put with these kind of sauces, cream sauces even, a nice pasta with cream. I mean, it's fantastic for this. You know, light dishes, amazing, with fish, seafood, name it, you know, I mean, I love that.
I love it too.
I think that every Italian really enjoys the living with the wine and the food, you know what I mean, is part of the culture. You cannot take it away from them.
Wine, food, good conversation, good
That's right.
company.
That's right.
That's life.
That is absolutely the essence of life.
Everything else falls into place
That's
if you've
right.
got those pillars in place.
Lo stile del nostro Pinot Grigio è molto semplice e coerente nel tempo. È nato con un profilo ben preciso, un vino tutto acciaio, quindi affinato, non fa assolutamente legno. Le caratteristiche che deve avere sono quelle di avere freschezza, acidità, in questo territorio molta sapidità, e quindi forse la grande differenza rispetto agli altri Pinot Grigi è che la Val d'Adige ha questa nota molto sapida che è una qualità importante nel nostro Pinot Grigio. Lo stile poi del nostro Pinot Grigio è fatto anche dai blend, dagli assemblaggi che vengono da zone diverse che hanno caratteristiche diverse, quindi riuscire ad assemblare, a blendare insieme queste partite diverse rendono il nostro Pinot Grigio probabilmente diverso da tutti gli altri. È un vino secco, che non ha nessun tipo di residuo, dove cerchiamo il bilanciamento, l'equilibrio in modo naturale, dove la ricchezza del gusto e l'acidità siano in perfetto equilibrio. Ovviamente ogni annata è una storia a sé, però lo stile e il profilo per Santa Margherita è sempre stato questo.
So let's talk about the trends going on. What are the trends?
So we're living in an excited moment. There are many trends around. Trends that are connected to a young generation that is starting to embrace the wine sector, such as canned wine, low alcohol wines, but other trends that are actually connected to a new way of communicating, or a new way also of selling, new channels like e-commerce that a few years back was not even existing. But what we believe should be at the priority, should be at the forefront of everybody's agenda, are all the trends that are connected to environmental sustainability and climate change. This is our duty and our responsibility, and this is where we can really make an impact.
Santa Margherita, like other wineries, are incorporating sustainability measures. And for Santa Margherita, sustainability is about the environment, but it's also about doing the right thing within their community. San Francesco della Vigna is the oldest urban vineyard in Venice, and it's in a monastery. Santa Margherita has overseen wine production here since 2019, and the work of the friars in the vineyard is followed and managed by Santa Margherita. In fact, Santa Margherita is also restoring the Chapel of San Marco on the grounds here. The last restoration was back in 1885. So what are you investing in?
We are investing in what we think is the most important asset of the company, people. But obviously, also where we are, vineyards are a crucial investment. But what is important is also to have a long-term vision and have a characteristic that in wine it's very peculiar, that is to be patient. You cannot be hasty in order to produce great wines.
They say great wines are made in the vineyard, but it always starts with good people. We know Santa Margherita for its Pinot Grigio, but now they have a risotto. Now this risotto is a pale coral color with sort of silvery inflections. It's very pretty, it's very pale, but what's it taste like? On the nose, it sort of whispers apricot, whispers apple. Very faint, very pretty, very lifted, sort of wispy aromas. Fabulous, mouth-watering quencher. This is a wine that's going to just lift every moment, much like the Pinot Grigio, but offer you just a little bit more in terms of fruit expression. You're getting strawberry, you're getting a hint of, again, orchard fruit, and that sunlit Italian goodness. There's nothing like exploring a destination one glass at a time. And the Veneto has a special place in my heart. The architecture, landscapes, and people open you up to all the possibilities and beauty throughout Italy. Be sure to join me on my next adventure right here on the Wine Find.